Hi guys, 18 Dapper here, and today it's a match preview for the FA Cup 5th round. It's Doncaster Rovers versus Crystal Palace. Let's get this video started. So in today's match preview, format is very similar to what we used to, the last meetings, current form, but with it being the FA Cup and the 5th round, adding a few little bits different. So FA Cup history, we're doing player focus for Doncaster Rovers, ones to watch for Crystal Palace, a little addition of the fans, and then the score prediction at the end. So we'll make a start with the last meeting and current form. Last meeting ended in a 1-1 draw, and that was at Selhurst Park back in 2012. That was when both teams were in the Championship. Donny, we've only lost one in the last 7 meetings between these two teams. We've won 3, drawn 3, and that one defeat. Palace's last victory on Doncaster soil was at the old ground Bellevue, fantastic ground, and that was back in 1960, so before my time, before my dad's time as well, so a long time ago. That game finished 5-1. I for one am hoping that there's not a scoreline similar to that on Sunday. Donny, we're in pretty good form at the minute. We've only lost 2 of our last 18 games in all competitions, so very decent form for us. It's been a very good season. Enjoyed watching them. We're unbeaten at home since the defeat to Sunderland back in October. 1-0 defeat there, so we have made the Keepmoat a tough place to visit, which is nice. But with our good form, Palace aren't doing too bad as well. They've won 5 of their last 7 away games in the FA Cup, so let's hopefully they don't make this 6 out of 8. And for the last 18 games, Palace have won 7, drawn 4, and lost 7. So consistently inconsistent. But they're a Premiership team. I don't think we can take them lightly at all. Hopefully, if anybody's taking anybody lightly, it'll be Palace taking Donny lightly. Moving on to FA Cup history. So Sunday's game, it's the first time that Doncaster and Palace have met in the FA Cup ever. And Donny, we've only had 4 appearances in the 5th round, so we're novices to the latter stages of the FA Cup. The most recent 5th round appearance for Donny was against Tottenham in 1956, so it has been a very long time since we've seen this late in the competition. We last beat top flight team in this competition in 1985. We've beaten top flight opposition a little bit more recently, but that was in the now called Carabao Cup. The glitz and glamour of the FA Cup, unfortunately, we've never done too well while I've been a Donny fan. The 1985 win was a 1-0 victory against QPR. And this is a good chance for Donny to write a little bit of history. We've never ever reached a quarter-final in the FA Cup, so with a good performance, if Palace aren't quite firing on all cylinders on Sunday, there's a chance that we could write a little bit of history, which would be very, very nice. Palace's FA Cup history, it's a bit better than ours. They've not lost against a team from the 3rd tier since getting beat by Cambridge in the 99-2000 season. Palace at that point were in the Championship, so it was only a division below. The last defeat against a team 2 tiers below them, which is what we are now, was back in 1993 when they lost to Hartlepool, and that was the 3rd round. As I said, Palace's FA Cup history is a bit better than Donny's, especially more recently. It's their 3rd 5th round tie in the last 5 seasons, so they've got to this stage a lot more consistently than what we have. So they should be used to the occasion. And Palace, they could reach a quarter-final on Sunday for the 2nd time in 24 years. The last time they reached a quarter-final, they went on to the final, and I believe they got beat by Manchester United in the 2016 final. Moving on to player focus. The first one, it's got to be John Marquis for Donny. Forward, number 9. His work rate is absolutely phenomenal. This guy just doesn't stop running, he doesn't stop trying, and he's been rewarded with 22 goals in 38 appearances across all competitions. And this guy is a handful for any defender on his day. I honestly believe that he should be playing at a higher level, but I'm glad that he's not, because it means that we get to watch him and get to enjoy his goal scoring abilities, which is very, very nice. Moving on to the second Doncaster Rovers player. On player focus, I'm going to go with Danny Andrew, defender. Doesn't pop up with a lot of goals. He's got 4 assists this season, but I wanted to focus on Danny because I think he's got to be at his best on Sunday. It's Palace. They're a very quick counter-attacking side. If they play like I think they're going to play, they're going to be sat back, soak up as much pressure as they can, and then just hit us on the counter with that pace that they've got. So Danny's got a lot of work to do defensively, but he also has to put the hard work in going forward as well. He needs to get on that pitch and do what he does best and deliver the ball into the box. Hopefully, Marquis or somebody can get on to the end of it. Moving on to one to watch for Crystal Palace. I will probably butcher his name, Luka Milijevic. I think that's right. I chose this guy because he's Palace's top scorer with 7 goals, but 6 of those goals have come from the penalty spot. He's midfielder, and from what I've seen, a lot of Palace's play comes through Luka, but as well as going forward and the ball and most of their play is going through him, he also breaks a lot of the opposition players down. So we need to find a way of working around Luka, and I think if we don't, we're not going to get a lot of joy in that final third. I think he'll break down a lot of our attacks. The second Palace player for my one to watch, it was going to be Zaha, but I've just found out that he is suspended for the game, which is a bit of good news because he is a different class. I think he would have caused our defence a ton of problems on Sunday. But even without Zaha, the Premiership team, Palace, are a very good squad. So even without him, we're still going to have a lot of work to do. So Andros Townsend comes in for the second player. 7 goals, 3 assists this season in 31 appearances. And I think with Zaha not playing, Townsend's got to provide that flair going forward. On his day, very good player, great delivery of the ball, plenty of pace, plenty of skill as well. So Danny Andrew, going to have your work cut out on Sunday. And on to the fans. A little picture on the screen there of when we played Stoke, and the Black Bank, which is our south stand, made a tifo, and they're doing the same or a similar thing again. And I think for me, we are the 12th man. I know it's a bit cliche, but I strongly believe that on Sunday, even if we go 1 down, there's going to be 14,000 people there, 12,000 Donny fans, well, 11,000 Donny fans, 3,000 Palace fans. The 11,000 Donny fans, regardless of what the score is, we need to be singing from minute 1 to minute 90. And we just need to get behind the boys because we're the underdogs. We're not expected to win. But when the Keepmoat's full and the atmosphere is buzzing, anything can happen. So we've got to get behind the boys on Sunday. I definitely will be. I'm looking forward to seeing what the tifo looks like this time round. And something a little bit different for the score prediction as well. I couldn't just go with a score prediction. It's the FA Cup. Who knows what's going to happen? It's the magic of the FA Cup. Anything can happen. So score prediction, there's one with my heart and there's one with my head. So for my score prediction with my heart, I've got to go with Donny win. I'm going with Max's scoreline. I'm going with a 2-1. I don't know if it's going to be 90 minutes. I don't know if it's going to be after extra time. But I think if we're on our game and Palace maybe come in with a bit too much confidence or a little bit of complacency, we could do it. But then I had to think, and score prediction with my head. Palace, a very good team, a very good squad. I don't think Roy will approach this game any differently. The game against Grimsby, they put a strong squad out. They played decent against Spurs once again. Very strong squad out in the FA Cup, and I think they'll be, as a squad, I think they've got to be looking at the teams that are left in and thinking this is a chance for us to go far. So I think if Palace approach the game properly, I think we're going to get beat 3-1. Didn't like saying that. But like I say, it's the FA Cup. Anything can happen. So let me know your thoughts. What do you think the score is going to be? Pop it in the comments down below. And if you've enjoyed this vlog, stick a big thumbs up on it for us, please. Subscribe if you haven't already. Palace fans, subscribe as well. There will be a matchday vlog uploaded on Sunday. And as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.